Man, back in the building, y'all. We back in the building. Y'all know what to do once y'all get in this building, right? Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, because I don't know what you're waiting on, champs. I really don't. But we got a topic we got to talk about. We got this Ja Rule guy. Y'all remember Ja Rule? Yeah, the one that his career ended a long time ago. That part, the one that had that bubblegum music and all that. What would I be without you? You remember all that music? Oh yeah, y'all was dancing to that shit too. Don't even lie, y'all was dancing to that. We called it bubblegum music. That's what we called it back then. But anyway, he's back. Went on the Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club kind of, hey, Breakfast Club kind of, I don't want to say set him up for the questions that he asked him, know what I mean? But they're asking about the rest in peace to Irv Gotti, you know what I mean? Rest in peace. We don't wish no man to pass away. But when you got somebody that's involved with an entourage that try to take a person's life, meaning 50 Cent, what make you think that that beef gonna ever end? What make you think that he gonna forgive or have sympathy for somebody that was ha ha all on the videos and all on the music, including you, Ja Rule? You forgot? You was acting like you and your little team was involved with the non-shots and all that when 50 got hit up back there. That part. So why should he have sympathy? Would y'all have sympathy if somebody shot y'all 9 times and y'all lived? That part. We're gonna talk about this, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video. Let's get this show started. Yo, 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 yo. If they know, they know. We back in the building. It's your boy Smoke News TV. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have it, because I don't know what you're waiting on, to be honest. Keep that notification bell on too, so you know when I'm dropping my videos. Share the video. Shout out to my members. They got their membership. Shout out to Team Smoke Gang. Try to get your membership. Shout out to anybody that been smashing that subscribe button, supporting the channel. Now, man, so appreciate that from my day ones till now. Cash App is in the banner if you want to donate to the channel. You can also donate to the channel by the thank you button on the channel. Let's get this copyright out the way, because we got to remind Ja Rule right quick about his little situation, the way he was back then. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for educational and entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel, on this channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for educational, entertainment purpose. The clips and videos I play also owned by the original creators. So we got Ja Rule back. He want to share paperwork. Oh yeah, we got a clip too with the NYPD police. Oh yeah, I got a clip where he's gonna explain about this little paperwork back then when I was pushing that was actually false. Nah, Smoke. He talking about the stabbing and this and that. Remember they say fifth. He went down the station. Nah, see people got it twisted when that stabbing situation happened in the studio with 50 and Ja Rule and all that. Y'all remember the story. This beef is so old. So let's get to that part. But it was the engineer, and I think it was the producer, the engineer, one of them do. They was the one that gave a statement to the police because they was inside the studio also when everything broke out inside that little studio when Ja Rule and them niggas ran up in there, whatever things, things went left. Tony Yayo explained that. 50 explained that. What we talking about here? We're gonna get to a clip where actually Big Gene knew about it too, and he gonna explain that too. So the little paperwork that he was sharing all on the internet, it's too late for this, Ja. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Y'all messed with the wrong person, man. Y'all should have left that boy alone with the Supreme and everything beat. But see, when you get involved, you putting yourself in the hot seat now. This man is actually involved for shutting your career down. And let's not say this. Let's not just say that 50 was just the person that shut your career down. It was also the people that y'all brought, the people that y'all connected with and had company with. Pause. Meaning Supreme. Y'all remember, y'all was Murder Inc. So y'all had to have some gangsters around y'all, I guess, because none of y'all niggas wasn't putting no murder down. So what y'all do? Y'all connect with Supreme. Those some real niggas that lay shit down back in the days, back in their heydays. The Supreme team. But we're gonna get to all this. This is a little Ja Rule, nah man. You know he's saying boo-boo, rat, order, protection is crazy. He said, I thought they was tough, nah I mean, this and that. This is all false information. That's where they got it wrong at. It's crazy. You can't troll a troll, man. Then you got Wayno jumped in. He said 15 job beef. It's like LeBron entire career. That's a fact. This shit been going on for decades. Let's get to the clips though. That's when let's get to Ja Rule when he was on the Breakfast Club and he spoke about this. Actually, we got a couple of clips he's talking about this. This shit been going on for 20-something years, Ja. Your career was done with that bubblegum music. You had plenty of opportunities to bounce back. You even had a little bit of acting skills, nigga. You could have went to that lane. You decided not to do nothing. 50 done passed you, surpassed you in rap, surpassed you in acting. You was acting before 50 was acting, nigga. What we talking about? 50 basically took your little blueprint that you had and 10 times mastered that shit. Came out with, Get Rich, Die Trying. Came out with the Massacre with a little bit of bubblegum music. Surpassed you with the bubblegum music. Did the acting, surpassed you with the acting. So you can't blame nobody but yourself because of the hustler that he is and the hustler that you didn't have in you. You and Irv. May him rest in peace. But that's what happened when somebody surpassed you, nigga, and they got connects with all them phone calls that could shut y'all niggas down the way y'all was trying to shut him down once upon a time. There's plenty of old videos what I did with them 50 videos when Irv was trying to blackball him, this and that. 50 spoke about that. So we not going to sit here and act like them niggas wasn't blackballing 50 out there in the East Coast. He had to go all the way to the West Coast to get a goddamn record deal with Dr. Dre and connect with Eminem to get the Dr. Dre. He couldn't even get a record deal in the East Coast at that time because Irv Gotti nigga was on top of the game. They was blackballing him. But why were they doing that? You know why? Because they want to be connected with Supreme and all that. That's why. Them niggas ain't had shit to do with that beef. They put themselves involved in that beef. That part. What are we talking about here? Let's get the job room.
Rule was on the Breakfast Club, and we had a conversation with him about 50 and a few things. Let's take a listen to Ja Rule on the Breakfast Club.
He keeps it going.
You be throwing jabs.
I'll go to the circus once in a while, you know what I mean? But I really like to stay clear of that.
Like, we've been watching this forever. This is Cowboys versus Redskins. This is Lakers versus Celtics. This is Duke versus North Carolina.
20, 30 years.
This is the Hatfield versus McCoys. That's what Ja Rule and 50 Cent are.
And it'll never end.
It's never going to end.
There'll be 99 with canes going at each other.
That's right. Hitting each other with wheelchairs.
Yeah, this
okay.
This will never end.
Like, it's a beef that will never end, and I understand it.
Yeah.
If you know the history between them, you will completely understand.
This will never end.
Yeah. Well,
And from never mind. Never mind. It don't even matter.
None of your business.
It's not. It's not.
Well,
but if all I'm gonna say from 50's perspective, when you feel like somebody tried to take everything from you, everything, not just livelihood, it's just everything. Yeah, it's not gonna ever. It's up forever.
Ain't never going to end. Because y'all gotta understand. I know some people in the comments, some trolls. Oh man, here we go with the 50. You team 50, you goddamn right I'm team 50. That part. What are we talking about? I grew up in that era. I grew up in that music. Nigga born that. He born the East Coast back with that Get Rich, Die Trying and shit. You know, Jay-Z had that hustling music, but 50 came with some other type of shit when he came out. Goddamn right I grew up on that G-Unit music off that 50 music. I never liked the Ja Rule music, bro. I ain't never liked the Bubblegum, Would I Be Without You? I ain't never liked that music. I couldn't relate to that, nigga. I couldn't get jiggy with that shit. I couldn't relate to that music. Nah. When you relate to somebody that's living the lifestyle that you was living at the time, when you was a teenager, that's the music. Those are the people you relate to. Am I lying? I sit back, I'll wait. That's who we consider the people that we actually listen to their music. We fans of them. Because we can relate to what they saying. I couldn't relate to what Ja Rule was saying. So you goddamn right I was team 50. But he ain't had nothing to do with that. That was a whole street beef with Supreme Team and all them niggas. See, they put they self involved in that shit and started doing all teasing him in his shoving in his face that he got shot 9 times, pause, and Ja Rule music and Irv Gotti's on interview. What y'all gonna say? Ja ain't never say nothing about the 50 getting shot and this and that, or like he acting like his team was involved. He said that shit in subliminal ways. I can't sit here and agree with. I can't sit and say I listen to Ja Rule music after all that. Nah, but I know for a fact certain parts of his music that I did hear was subliminals. Putting himself involved with the 9 shots that happened at 50 in front of his grandma's house, broad daylight. He ain't had nothing to do with that. So what you think this nigga gonna do? He gonna make sure he shuts your career down because you're the one that's on top at that moment, right? You the one doing the bubblegum music and all this, that, and the third. And he know you. He know you from the other side of the town. Oh, let's get to it. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel.
If you take a close look at guys like Ja Rule, you'll see that they walk with a crutch. In his case, it was the image of a gangster. He took DMX's flow, dressed up like Tupac, and tried to rap about other people's lifestyles. It worked for a second, but as I said, when you're walking with a crutch, there's a limit on how far you can go. Ja grew up as a Jehovah's Witness on the better side of Queens than I did. The only time he came to my part of town is when he would knock on the door and try to sell copies of the Watchtower. A nice religious boy, there's nothing wrong with that. But the people around him, like Irv, tried to turn him against his true nature as a gentle guy and transform him into a gangster. Instead of accepting his blessings, his talent for fun, female-oriented music, they were hell-bent on turning him into something negative. When they got a record deal with Def Jam, what did they call it? Murder Inc. Records. They had an open road in front of them, but they decided to paint themselves into a dangerous corner. Since none of them were actual murderers, they started seeking out people who had that energy. They eventually found what they were looking for, and it almost brought the whole company down. That's what ruined Ja Rule's career.
That's a fact. That and 50 going after him. Both of them. Both situations ruin y'all career because y'all want to bring some real kingpin niggas involved with y'all label. Y'all want to bring some real kingpin niggas and y'all acting like y'all down with the nigga. Y'all want to bring a nigga down that's really about that life over there back in his heydays down with y'all label. But see, when y'all messed up at, y'all got too kumbaya with it. Y'all got too happy with it. Y'all started laughing. Oh, yeah, we supreme this and that. And yeah, we supreme this, supreme this. Y'all was saying supreme too much. Supreme shouldn't have been mentioned involving y'all label. Supreme should have been in the cut, been quiet. That shit shouldn't have been in the news. And y'all gotta now. I'm gonna remind y'all, it wasn't on internet back then. So how the hell people knew that Supreme was involved with Murder Inc? You know why? Irv Gotti and Ja Rule kept mentioning his goddamn name in all his interviews and everything they was doing back then. That's how people found out Supreme was involved with Murder Inc. So now Supreme gotta come out the shadow and be like, yeah, you know. I mean, Irv, my man, and you know, Irv Gotti, my dude. That's when Supreme had to come out his shadow now and speak. There's interviews with Supreme talking about, not too many, but it's interviews when Supreme talking about this shit while he was home. Supreme should have just played the cut. He should have never let them niggas mention his name while he was doing them interviews and everything. That was another icing on the cake while the RICO came down on Murder Inc. because y'all connected yourself with Supreme. Then when they hear that shit, they go on the documents, they see the transaction, they're like, what kind of part that Supreme played in the Murder Inc. label? So y'all got to blame yourself. Y'all the reason why y'all fell off. Y'all didn't continue hustling. Y'all had to blow mad money. Y'all acting like y'all beat the RICO, like 50 Cent said in my other videos that I play. They only grabbed y'all niggas because they knew y'all was laundering money for Supreme. They didn't want y'all niggas really. So y'all really didn't beat the feds, to be honest. They just empty out y'all pockets and gave y'all not guilty. That's all they did. And ever since then, y'all never was the same again, Murder Inc. Let's get to Ja Rule, a little interview, though, when he speak about 50 Cent, you know, trolling about Irv Gotti. Know what I mean? Death and all that. This is Ja Rule on Breakfast Club. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, man.
When I see the things that he does, and you know, he did the Irv smoking on the, you know, I'm like,
How did you feel about that when you saw it?
Of course, nobody likes all this goofy shit, but it's goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not, you know, Preem said it best. You know, I spoke to Preem the other day. He's, you know, Preem is.
I'm just going to pause right there again. See what I mean? From 20 years ago, nigga, this nigga's praying this. That's the problem. You've been doing the same shit 20 years ago, putting Prim involved in all of y'all labels and acting like y'all involved in the situation. Now y'all want to pedal back, act like y'all ain't had nothing to do with the 9 shots when y'all nigga was all in the videos at the time when that shit first happened. Acting like y'all put the work in, acting like y'all was involved in the 9 shots when 50 got hit up. No, nigga, that was some real street beef. Your ass ain't had nothing to do with that, but you was playing like you had something to do with that part. What are we talking about here? Ja, a whole character, man. I'm telling you, always knew that when he first came in the game. He wanted to be DMX and Tupac all in one, that part. Dressing like them niggas and everything.
When I see the things that he does, and you know, he did the Irv smoking on the, you know, I'm like.
How did you feel about that when you saw it?
Of course, nobody likes all this goofy shit, but it's goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not, you know, Preem said it best. You know, I spoke to Preem the other day. He's, Preem has always got the right words and shit and the right things to say. Because I was hot. You know what I'm saying? I was hot. I was ready to go nuclear and shit. But, I said, so I spoke to Preem anyway. And Preem said, he said, Rule, he said, here's what you got to understand about who we are and what we are. He said, we are masters of self-defense. And I said, I love that. I said, because I don't want to start trouble, make trouble with people. But if we got to get into it, make it, I'll fucking end it. I'll put it to where it go. I'll take it to the next. So that's why I'm like, you know what? That is the best description of what I am and who I am as a man that I could ever think about. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who we are as men. Mm-hmm. We're here to protect our families, protect our homes, defend our honor, our names, our reputation. That's what we're here. I'm not here to be a bully and bother people. That's not.
Okay, let's stop it right there. We got another clip when he's finishing this. You see, you don't preach what you speak, champ. You don't even understand what you're saying. You don't even know what you're saying. How is that man being a bully and all this? Oh, he defended. Okay, let's break it down this way. Let's play devil advocate right quick. Let's play devil advocate right quick. Let's play 50 Cent role. He defends his family. He got shot 9 times. He ain't playing no bully. He's only going after the niggas that actually try to take his life. So what makes him different than what you saying just now? How is he so much of a bully? No, he survived them 9 shots that he won't even be here right now. Let's think about that. You and Irv would have been celebrating for years, from years coming. From the time he got shot, from all the way till now, y'all still would have been celebrating. Oh, come on, let's cut it out, champ. That man was only being a bully towards y'all because y'all act like y'all was involved in it when he survived after that. That man was defending his family, right? He had a son at the time, young little Marquise, besides the second one. He had a baby mom at the time. He got a family at the time. Y'all shot him in front of his grandma's house. What we talking about? So now he got to defend his family and become that bully that you're saying that he is. Anybody gonna become that nigga when you shoot a nigga in front of his grandparents' house or his mom's house, broad daylight? That shit gonna bring the animal out of them. Come on, Ja. You got to do better than that, baby. You gotta do better than that, champ. Like for real, Chad. What? That man got every reason to act the way he's gonna act. Bully, defending his family. He's here to defend his honor, his reputation, everything. Everything you just said, that's the reason why he came after y'all. I sit back, I wait. He ain't got no reason to act like that. And everything you broke down in 5 things, honor, family, being a man, and I ain't got to be a bully to be that. No, he ain't had to be a bully to do that. He became more of a bully when he survived them 9 shots. And then he hear y'all niggas all in the back and acting like y'all was involved in that shit, throwing subliminals all in the air. Especially Irv Gotti. You gotta be kidding me right now, man. Let's continue though.
I'm here to be a bully and bother people. That's not what I'm here to do. You know what I'm saying? But I am a master of self-defense.
Yeah. But in a way, you do have to understand why Fifth feels the way he feels, though, right? When you think about everything that y'all been through.
I really don't.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
The fighting, the shooting, the stabbing.
What shooting? We ain't got nothing to do with that.
Oh, well, never mind.
I know
like
people
that.
like to say it.
Yeah.
But that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know the reality of it all. You know what I'm saying? And that shit ain't got nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's good for, people to play that when they want to play that and then play victim when they want to play victim. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I leave it all alone. I live a really, really cool life. I'm in a good space.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, sometimes you just got to remove yourself from the circus. And that's what I've chose to do. And so that's why I've been being real quiet and cool and just enjoying my time and shit.
First you said, yeah, I was gonna go off on the nigga. I end shit, this and that. You ain't end nothing. Why you ain't end that shit back then when 51st was getting at y'all niggas? was trying to shut your career down at the beginning after he survived the 9 shots. Why you ain't end his career at that time? See, you came in the rap game something that you wasn't, champ. Nothing wrong with that. People live in environments where it's rough at, you know, they go the right path. There's nothing wrong with that. But see, you switched that right path. You switched the right way, the way you was raised. Came in the industry like you was this thug nigga, you was popping niggas, this, that, and the third. Then you got a nigga that 50 Cent that came in the game that come from the same area you from, that actually know you, and 50 started exposing you. It's competition. That's what they do in the hip hop. Hip hop been doing that shit for decades. Another nigga come from your neighborhood, he's like, yo, this nigga ain't what he think he is. Then you running with Supreme and them that's actually beefing with it. So what make you think he wasn't gonna say nothing about you? There's an old interview with 50 Cent, nigga, I wasn't gonna say nothing about that nigga when I first came in the game. My beef was more with Supreme and them because I had issue with them niggas in the streets. This story is old if everybody know the history. Rest in peace, Big Noise Troy. Shout out to Southside. Let's get to an interview. Copyright fair use is definitely in effect. Let's get to an interview with 50 talking about when Big Noise Troy took his chain. Ja Rule. Let's get to this, man.
But one of my friends was from Basic Projects. It was Lil Troy. He actually robbed Ja for his chain. He sent his girlfriend to go talk to him. She walked into the corner and then he robbed him.
Pardon me, Lil Troy. Pardon me. Let's get back to it.
But one of my friends was from Basic Projects. It was Lil Troy. He actually robbed Ja for his chain. He sent his girlfriend to go talk to him. She walked into the corner and then he robbed him. I think Ja felt like I was his peer because we both wrote music and was willing to compete with me, but didn't want to compete with Troy because Troy was under circumstances where he would hurt him. So what's funny is Troy viewed me as we're peer because he know me from before I decided to make music. So he would talk to me and come with a whole different mentality and vibe. While Ja wasn't like, he didn't come up under the same type of circumstances. He wasn't forced to actually fend for himself that early. You know, actually, he was a Jehovah's Witness. She knocked on our door Saturday, tried to sell us watchtowers. But one of my...
Let's talk about it. Now, that was Lil Troy that did it, pardon me, but rest in peace to Big Noise Troy. At Southside know what I'm talking about. It's documentaries about Big Noise Troy. Lil Troy robbed Ja chain. Let me get that. I forgot about that. That's why I had it mixed up with his pop. Let me get that. He grabbed that from him. That's what I'm saying. Like, Ja be talking and putting this image, they put that image on you. You came in hip-hop with that character, bro. You win some, you lose some in the streets. We all go through that. I went through that. You win some, you lose some. Everybody go through that shit. You live another day. If it don't get too rowdy out there, if it don't get crazy out there. But you're gonna go through your little humps and downhills. You're gonna go through a little fight. You're gonna lose some. You're gonna win some. But when you got a nigga like Ja Rule that's coming in the game and going after 50 Cent the way he was going after, if everybody a 50 Cent fan, Ja Rule fan, they remember the beef when it first happened. We talking 2000, we talking 99, 2000, we talking the early. All the way to Fifth got shot. These niggas was good. These niggas was actually making themselves like they was involved with the shooting that was involved with 50 Cent almost losing his life. What make you think that somebody gonna have any type of sympathy or any type of emotion about a person, rest in peace to Earth God, and my condolences to his family, but what make you think he gonna have any type of sympathy about that? Or he gonna feel sorry about that? When he knew when he got shot, meaning 50, y'all niggas was laughing at him. This is all documented. So now we're going to get to the paperwork situation, right? Now, this is an ex-NYPD police. Was chasing all this shit, chasing 50 Cent G-Unit down and all this. Remember Tony Yayo spoke about this plenty of times. There's a clip with a dude speaking about the paperwork that Murder Inc. put out trying to say that 50, you know, he was snitching. Dude's gonna say straight up, he ain't never talk, he ain't want to talk, and Fifth ain't got nothing to do with that. Fifth kept it silent. Them niggas switched that shit up. It was the A&R, I think it was the producer or the engineer. One of them was two people that actually made statements to the police. was nobody from G Unit. The police nigga would actually know. Let's get to his clip though. Since Ja Rule want to put the paperwork all now, 20 years later, like he getting points off that nigga. Your career is done, champ. Over with. Y'all let that happen. You can't blame Fifth. Y'all niggas just ain't come with no comeback. Pause. Let's get to the NYPD police talking about this paperwork though. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video.
50 Cent never cooperated with anybody, and I would know if he did. I had the whole music industry investigation business locked down. I knew everybody who was talking to everybody. There is no way he cooperated. We took a shot at him. He didn't cooperate. Through his attorney, Bob Kalina, I tried to get him to, just say, if he could just say he was shot in his car and, whatever, he would not cooperate with us at all. And I think the reason why is one, he was playing the rules of the street. Two, he wouldn't have a career if he got caught cooperating. Guys have said he cooperated on an incident where he was stabbed or somebody was stabbed, maybe it was Yayo in the studio. He didn't cooperate on that, and these guys were going to sue or something. One guy sued and won some money. They never cooperated.
That was the engineer. That was the engineer and the other dude that was in there. There was one or two people that actually sued them. They won the money. Fifth ain't had nothing to do with that. That's why when I get tired and I'm like, yo, bro, y'all people y'all know the real history with this shit. Paperwork this nigga putting out on the internet was totally false. Let's get the Big Gene. He even spoke about this. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel.
The deal is going sour from the 250,000 they were supposed to give 50. You understand?
Y'all know that part. The 250,000 he talking about is from Chaz. Rest in peace to Big Chaz. He come out from, this is legendary from New York. Rest in peace to Chaz. I think it's Chaz Williams, if I ain't mistaken. Y'all do y'all research on him. They had a little deal going on. That's why he's talking about the 250,000, but then that shit went left. They didn't get it because, everything happened with the Murder Inc. and all the Supreme and all that shit. Now, peep this out.
The deal is going sour from the 250,000 they were supposed to give 50. You understand? They were supposed to give 250,000 because they was thinking that 50 was supposed to, they had put out paperwork and lies that 50 snitched and 50 didn't snitch. 50 ain't say nothing about that stabbing shit. That came from the DJ and the engineer, and the prosecutor put 50 name in the paperwork as a protective witness. You understand? But 50 ain't give him no kind of statement or nothing like that. That was checked and clarified. You understand what I'm saying? So he didn't give him no kind of statement. So they were supposed to give 50 to 250,000.
It's remember all of the snitch, you a snitch, you just now. Yeah. That's the worst thing you can be in the environment that I come up in, right? Where the snitch at in the documentary? Yeah. I'm not in that case.
Yeah.
So there's no snitch there, right? There's nothing about nothing. All he says is, he know me, he know what that was about. And what that was about was he got an idea. And it ain't the same idea I got. Mine's work, obviously. It's been more.
There's no snitch on Fifth. I know people be mad, oh man, you team Fifth. You team Fifth. Nigga, pull the paperwork out. Let me see the paperwork when 50 snitched on them niggas when that shit happened with the 9 shot. Let me see the paperwork when he got stabbed up in the studio. There's none. Gene even just told you, nigga, Big Gene's an ex-parole officer. What we talking about here? That nigga get all types of paperwork. The ex-NYPD that was hip-hop police type shit was running down on G Unit, all involved with that case. He even told you, which ain't gonna say, oh, they got paid. Niggas ain't get paid to say that shit. So, Ja Rule, you gotta stop with this little image that you putting out, champ. 50 shut your career down. Okay, it's over with. Y'all niggas shut your own career down. Y'all didn't continue peddling. Y'all didn't continue putting that motor on Murder Inc. and continue putting out hits. Y'all didn't have another artist after Ja Rule and the Shanti. That shit was over with after that. So you can't blame 50. Y'all got to blame yourself. And then putting yourself with some real street niggas, supreme in them niggas. That's what really ended your career. Because the feds emptied y'all niggas' pockets. Murder Inc. was never the same after that, champ. Yo, I'm telling you, Ja Rule was trying to be DMX and Tupac all in one. Instead, he was giving us that bubblegum ass music. What would I be without you? All that shit was corny, bro. Females might have loved that shit, but some niggas probably liked it. But nigga, I wasn't digging none of that bubblegum music, Ja Rule. Holla, holla, I mean, all that shit. I wasn't feeling none of that shit. Holla, holla, everyone that come under me, holla, holla. Who that sound like DMX? When I first heard that song, holla, holla, whatever, y'all know what song I'm talking about. That shit was okay, but I wasn't a fan of it. That shit was trash to me because you sounded like DMX. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I know everybody that first heard Ja Rule, they thought that was DMX. I remember when he was on Jay-Z, on that song with Jay-Z, and I think who else? Oh, I think it was him, Jay-Z, and I think Mill, whatever, that was down with Jay-Z on Rockefeller back in the day when they did the little song. I thought that was DMX too. Until I really see this nigga on MTV videos and all this. I'm like, yo, hold up. This the nigga that sound like DMX? That part. So when you coming in the game imaging somebody else, bro, what you think gonna happen? Niggas do their research, find out. Then you got a nigga that come from your area, 50 Cent, and then all hell break loose. Let's continue though. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel.
You're a murdering bully. I was here when you punched Ja Rule in the face.
The talk got heated because I got mad and I started screaming at him.
Murder!
And so he swings at me.
Bah!
But I dipped it and then hit him with the bat. Boom! So now we start tussling.
Ja Rule, murder! Swear to God, when he in the lobby, it's like the eyes growing. Like he came in the hotel with a cookie.
No, and then he came out and they was like, Ja Rule, what happened? And he was like, oh, nothing. He had his sunglasses on. And he was like, yeah, something happened.
Here's the interesting thing. I hear he's talking all types of shit. Yo, I knocked him out, took his chain.
Fifth showed a little chain that was in Wangster. Little cross. Look what I got. You got the piece.
What the hell happened to the video then?
You're a murdering bully. I was here when you punched Ja Rule in the face.
The talk got heated because I got mad and I started screaming at him.
Murder!
And so he swings at me.
Bah!
But I dipped it and then hit him with the bat. Boom! So now we start tussling.
Ja Rule, murder! Swear to God, when he in the lobby, it's like the eyes growing. Like he came in the hotel with a cookie.
No, and then he came out and they was like, Ja Rule, what happened? And he was like, oh, nothing. He had his sunglasses on. And he was like, yeah, something happened.
Here's the interesting thing. I hear he's talking all types of shit. Yo, I knocked him out, took his chain.
Fifth showed a little chain that was in Wangster. Little cross. Look what I got. You got the piece. So he snuffed him and yanked him.
He's talking crazy, like, but people believe everything he says. What happened in the past is what's done is done. It is what it is.
It is what it is, but why you continue with it? Pardon me for the little pause on the video, man. I don't know what the hell happened. But if it is what it is, why you continue on the Breakfast Club bringing it up? I know they asked you about the Irv Gotti, how you feel about 50? You know you could have just said, yo, listen, man, I don't condone what he did. It is what it is. That's the past. And I mean, he just said, that's it. You want to call him a clown? You could have called 50 a clown. You could have continued with the conversation. But when you start talking like, oh yeah, I was gonna end up loading. I was gonna end up, going crazy on him, and I had to talk to Supreme. It's always when you got to talk to Supreme to calm you down, though, right? Nigga, Supreme shouldn't have calmed y'all niggas down when y'all niggas' whole label was crumbling, going down. The empire was going down because of one person, and that was 50, and that's because of G-Unit. So when you come back and you react 20-something years later, and you try to put out paperwork all on the internet, that shit is not gonna work, John. That junk, to be honest, is making you look more like a clown. That part. What are we talking about here? Because you ain't pedaled back 20 years ago, nigga, and barked at him in a way you could have came at him the whole. You ain't had the ammo to come at this nigga back then, bro. That was the problem. Murder Inc. ain't had no artists really. At least he had Lloyd Banks. He had Tony Yayo. That nigga had Young Buck at the time. 50 was coming out with some niggas. You ain't really had nobody. Y'all kept bringing us Supreme. Yeah, you ain't no Supreme. You mess with us, Supreme. That's why y'all niggas is where y'all at now. Murder Inc. crumbled. Empty y'all pockets. Never been the same. Ashanti left. Rest in peace, Irv Gotti passed away. Now you in a situation where you got to defend yourself. If I was you 20-something years ago, I would have left that shit alone.
You had a beef with or have a beef with Ja Rule?
It's an old school. That's an old.
But I understand that. But I understand in October you did something to get back at Ja Rule.
Yeah.
And please tell the people what you did because this is quite.
I bought like the first 4 rows in his concert.
You bought the first 4 rows in his concert?
Yeah, they was like on Groupon for $15. It wasn't a big deal. They was showing me the stuff on there, my sister and stuff, and I said, yo, they put concert tickets in? And I looked, and his tickets was there. I was like, how much are the tickets? $15. I said, okay, give me the first 4 rows.
How many seats is that? It's got to be like 200 seats.
That's still ain't but like $3,000.
So when he came out, there's nobody in the first 4 rows of his concert? You do not want to with you.
They created a monster. That's all they did, yo. When Fifth got hit 9 times, y'all just created a whole bully monster at that time, bro. And he made sure y'all nigga wasn't gonna eat no more with the connections he got. And that's exactly what he did. What y'all gonna say? Oh, that's wrong, man. Jay-Z did it. Jay-Z did it with his competitions. Oh, you want me to sit back and wait on that? When he took over Rockefeller, what did he do? Nigga, he took control of DMX. Every competition he had them niggas under him now when he was the president of president of Def Jam, pardon me. When he broke up, when Rockefeller and everything, when he went to Def Jam, became president, took over Def Jam, all his competition was under him. And who was the successful ones that blew up and they made the most money for Jay-Z at that time? I sit back, I'll wait. Let me pedal back on what I said. When Jay-Z left Rockefeller, when he became the president of Def Jam, you had DMX over there. You had certain competitions still over there that was competing with Jay-Z before he even got there in the rap game. When he took over Def Jam, who was the last 2? Who was the only 2 that made the most money for him? And that's still around to this day. Might not be making music here and there, but they made the most. Kanye West and Rihanna. Y'all forgot what the DMX said? Oh, man, that DMX got plenty of envies when he talking about Jay-Z. When he took over Def Jam, he kept pushing his album to the shelf, pushing it back a little bit. That's competition. That's being a bully. That's being a monster. That's like, man, listen, ain't nobody gonna eat but me, and I'm gonna choose who I'm gonna choose that's gonna eat. Same thing 50 did to the niggas that almost took his life. He retaliated by making sure y'all niggas don't get no revenue over there. Making sure y'all don't get booked for nothing. That's how you retaliate when you get to the level that he is. Jay-Z did it plenty of times, so I don't want to hear that. Jay-Z did it plenty of times with his competitions that he was going against, trying to make phone calls. Come on, man. It's all competition. But see, what 50 Cent situation is worse, though, because the street life came into the rap game. That's a whole different story right there. They almost took him up out of it. So you telling me that he supposed to have some type of sympathy and all that towards these niggas? I know I won't. You got to look at yourself in the mirror every day and look at the 9 shots, wounds, and especially the one in the cheek. That shit reminds you every day. Come on, man. Let's cut it out here. So for you to come back and bring that up again, it makes you look like a clown on Breakfast Club because you didn't do what you supposed to have done as honoring yourself and all this. You want to say, yeah, you got to be honored as a man and all. You ain't do that shit 20 years ago when a nigga was shutting your whole career down. You ain't do none of that. You sat back and let your career just crumble. Empire going down. Then try to connect with Fat Joe and all them niggas once upon a time. One nigga did it again. He barked at them niggas. Shut Fat Joe career down once upon a time too. Remember, Fat Joe was beefing with Jay-Z and 50 Cent. 2 of the most powerful niggas in the game. Then all the way till now. So what Fat Joe had to do? Apologize to Jay, apologize to Fifth. I've been did videos about that. Come on, man. Why you think Ja Rule is where he at now? Because Ja don't got them connections, man. Why you ain't over there with the Rock Brunch, nigga, and Rock Nation over there, nigga? Because obviously Jay-Z don't rock with you, probably. Nasty work, man. I'm out of here, though. I'm tired of this Ja Rule and 50 Cent beat, but I had to pop out with this video, put my smoke involved in this, because Ja, man, you out of character. We got to remind you who you is sometimes. Till then, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Make sure y'all keep that notification bell on so y'all know when I'm dropping my video, so y'all can jump back in the building like we do and talk or smoke. So make sure y'all do all three. Subscribe, smash the like button, share the video. Make sure you keep that notification bell, all four, pardon me. Yeah, I'm out of here, man. Let me know about what y'all think about this Ja Rule situation. And should 50 Cent have sympathy for these niggas with the Irv Gotti and all that? Nah, I don't think he should. That's just my opinion. I'm out of here. Till then, y'all already know the vibes. It's your boy Smoke News TV. Salute, gang. I'm out of here, man.